No. I don't know if all of you saw me trip just then. I should have tied my shoe before I came up here. Um, I hope you'll forgive me for that. Not the tripping and falling part, but the intentional nature of it. I don't know if any of you noticed that I almost tripped. Um, that was intentional. I left my shoe untied on purpose. I wanted to try to do a little experiment, see how many of you would actually notice, did I almost trip? And how many of you sitting here felt uh, concern or any sort of emotion at seeing somebody struggle at all in any way, shape, or form. Now, if you didn't, that's fine. I'm not offended by it. It's okay. Um, I wanted to kind of start off with reminding you all of our own base instinct to feel empathy for other people. Now, that's actually what I will be talking about with you guys today, is the nature and purpose of empathy and the role that empathy has in helping other people. If we as human beings are, we have this like base set of emotions and things like that. Now, emotions aren't unnecessary or a nuisance or there without purpose. Emotions are meant to drive us, to push us to do certain actions. Like sadness. Sadness is meant to show us whether or not a situation is correct or incorrect, whether something is impacting our life or someone else's life. Happiness. Happiness is meant to motivate us. Love. Love motivates us, leads us to protect the things and people we love. Empathy has a purpose as well. That pang of like hurt or concern or worry you might feel for a student in the hallway who falls and drops all of his papers on the floor, that feeling that you feel for that child isn't just there for no reason. That is your own brain telling you to go help another member of your species. That's really what it is. Empathy is not there as some sort of like another notification for you to swipe away and like worry about it later, right? That is your own instinct to help another appear, someone who you might see yourself in. And within our world right now, we could definitely use a lot more empathy. And a big problem with society nowadays is that I think people have forgotten the purpose of empathy. I think a lot of people have been taught to ignore it or kind of train it out of themselves in as a methods of success. To get to the top, you have to be ruthless. Every man for himself, especially in Western society where life is very individualistic. It's not very community based, which is not a problem. It's different. It's a different culture. Life is very pick yourself up by the bootstraps, self-made man. Do things for yourself. Make your way to the top. Rise, succeed, do what you can to you get to the top all by yourself. You did this all. Be proud of yourself. Unfortunately, with all of that does come this sense of like, I can't worry about anybody but me. I can't worry about anybody but myself. I cannot risk someone else coming before me. I have to, come out on top. And all of that is, we're taught that the way to succeed here is if you stomp down your feelings for other people, your kind instinct that you have as a child to help another, like help a friend or a soccer teammate that you see trip and fall. As we grow older, we're taught that, oh no, they fell, they either deserved it or they are weaker than you, or don't lag behind to help somebody out. They'll take care of it themselves. You need to work it, like focus on you, get better, get stronger, don't look behind you. So why do we feel empathy? Why is that little piece of us inside of us? Why does that feel something for other people when we see other people struggling? then it really doesn't make sense that it would exist without a purpose, right? Every emotion we feel, every bodily function we have serves a purpose, regardless of what it is. Every single one. There is always a purpose to everything in the universe. Always, no matter what. So the purpose of empathy is really, it ensures that we as a species survive. Human beings are social creatures. There is no way for humanity to have gotten where it is without the help of other people. The first signs that human beings were starting to develop, like as a species, was that what was it that we found the remains of a man in a cave who had lived to a significantly old age, and this was back in like caveman times, you know what I mean? So he was, not only was he dead at a very old age, he had signs on his body of healed broken bones. Humans, if they break a leg or an arm now, we're fine. We go to the hospital, we get a little cast, we wait, it heals. In the times before medicine, before much of anything really, there was no way to survive a broken limb without other people helping you. How would you have hunted? How would you have kept yourself safe, or went out, gotten food for yourself, or fended for yourself in this wild environment without somebody else's help? So this indicates that we, as a species, helped one another, even though there was no benefit to helping, besides like our own happiness. Why would they have helped? Why would those very early humans have helped their grandpa or uncle or even unrelated person for no reason, even though he might be weighing them down? That's empathy. Empathy is helping people for no reason other than just for the sake of it. Just because. He has no value to you. That kid in the hallway that you help pick up his papers after he's fallen has no reason. There's no personal benefit or gain that you could gain from helping this person, other than feeling good about it. Maybe you feel good when you help somebody, right? That is also another thing that's been proven. There's so many studies that have been done on children and infants and things like that about pro-social behavior. So that's like behavior in which you help another person for any reason at all, really, honestly. So they have these studies they'll do on babies. They'll have the baby in the mother's lap, and then the experimenter will be sitting on the other side and playing with blocks. The experimenter will drop a block and then act shocked or sad that they've dropped the block. And oftentimes the baby, very young baby, like only just now looking around and things like that, reaches over, picks up the block, and hands it to the man for no reason. For no reason. Baby smiles, man smiles. It's perfect. It's really an example that shows and proves to us that human beings are not by nature rise to the top no matter who gets in my way. We are not selfish by nature. We are, from birth, meant to help others and rise with the help of others and with others, really. We are a social species. There is no way for us to keep going without community, really. And honestly, the first step to building community is empathy. When I, tripped just then, if you felt something for me, then that means that you're capable of feeling empathy, and that means that you're capable of acting on it as well. The more we help one another, the more that we provide each other with mutual support, the higher our rate of survival, or like chance of survival as a species gets, which is good. I would like for humanity to keep lasting. It's great. I'm a huge fan of people. I love every single one of you. I love every single person I've ever come across. Every single one. All humans are beautiful to me. And it's really fascinating to me that sometimes I'll meet someone who doesn't share that idea because of the circumstances in which we are conditioned as we grow up. Now, if, let's say, you're out and about, you see someone who might be struggling, and your first instinct is to look away or not make eye contact, to, "Oh, sorry, oh." Like, you feel bad, right? For not helping. Don't worry about this and be like, "No, I'm such a bad person. I haven't, I looked away from that man who needed help on the street. I didn't, buy Girl Scout cookies, even though those little girls were looking at me so hopefully." There are many reasons as to why people nowadays do not help one another. It's a very, very complex issue with a multitude of reasons, all of them being tied to social norms and human psychology. Um, Especially in our culture, again, we live in a Western individualist culture, which means that we are very egocentric. So that means we are very um, I am my own person and they are their own person. We are all unrelated. We are all independent, right? Um, which is not your fault, and it's completely normal. Uh, but we are more than our surroundings. We are more than the conditions that we've grown up in. We are more than what we've been trained to be. Going against the social norms and cultural norms of your geography and your age range and your own culture is extremely difficult. Because again, we are human beings, we are social creatures, and another thing that helps us survive is fitting in. And if everybody around you doesn't really have a very helpful mindset, then obviously you're not going to want to either. And I don't blame you. That's very normal. Um, but helping others and being a very interlinked and supportive community starts with one person. It's a ripple effect, like a butterfly effect. One tiny action in your immediate surroundings can spur somebody else on, give them confidence to help another person. Next time you see somebody struggling and you feel yourself think, no, someone else will help, do your best to push yourself and try to be the first to help, because maybe you'll inspire somebody else. A lot of the times people won't do anything because they're scared, they're worried, they're concerned. What if I'm made out to be weird? What if I'm too social or something like that? If you can get over your fear or your apprehensions about helping another person, then you'll inspire many other people to reach out. If I can have convinced you of this fact that helping others is good for you and good for all people, that if one person does it, everyone else will begin to as well. If I've, done anything in my power to convince you of this fact, then I will have succeeded in my goal today. Smile at a stranger. Put your cart back at the grocery store exactly where you found it. Tip your service workers. It's really it's a cruel world, and we could all benefit from being a little bit kinder to one another. You don't have to do anything big. You don't have to go overseas and donate your life savings to orphans. You could help an old lady cross the street. Thank you.